Good morning, fellow Ambazonians. Today, na Monday Country Sunday, number 14 day for this number 11 month for the year 2022. My name na Capo Daniel. I am the Deputy Defense Chief of the Ambazonian Defense Forces and the spokesperson of the Ambazonian Governing Council, aka Sense Past King, una own countryman. Una welcome to our daily podcast, a program where we speak the truth, where they bring una meaningful information as we work for this journey to our freedom, the independence of Ambazonia. Good people of Ambazonia, we start today with La République du Cameroon, their media houses and their bloggers and propagandists, where they run a propaganda campaign against the Commander-in-Chief of the Ambazonian Defense Forces, the leader of our War of Liberation, Dr. Cho Ayaba. News is the break from La République, their bloggers them, and within Ambazonian eternal rivalry, say the German government didn't arrest Dr. Cho Ayaba. This one na a lie. A complete lie. Dr. Cho Ayaba is a free man and is traveling free around the world doing intensive diplomacy for the Ambazonian cause to secure their freedom. Dr. Cho Ayaba have no incident that involve law enforcement or police or arrest in any shape or form, neither in his home in Norway nor in Germany. The only person we need for begin fear law na the Cameroon government and their officials for the war crimes with their military they commit them for inside Ambazonia systemically. A country where they sign convention then we bind them for respect international law. These officials them they systematically carry out killings of our people, assassination, even in the words of the American government. The Cameroon state then be under sanction from the Joe Biden administration, where they then target 9 of their ministers them, where they be involved for the crimes in Ambazonia, for give them visa ban in the United States of America. These people include Paul Atanganji. The list is unknown, but we know for sure as the American government didn't announce them. The Cameroon government is also be sanctioned by the United States, where they cut them off from the AGOA, because Cameroon is a criminal state where they engage in systemic and subjugation attack against Ambazonia. The German government didn't cut the relationship with the Cameroon military, stopping vital aid to fight against Boko Haram. The British government and the British Parliament didn't call on the British government to take measures to stop investment by British conglomerates in La République du Cameroon because of Cameroon conduct in its war against Ambazonia. Cameroon is the criminal state. The officials of Cameroon are the criminals. These are the real ones who should be worried about the international law. Their efforts to arrest and rendition Ambazonians' leadership in the diaspora have failed. They have used the Nsala Fund, making false accusations against Ambazonian officials, targeting them at their home base in the United States of America, even here in Hong Kong, in Norway, in Germany, and many other places. The message to La République du Cameroon from the international community is clear. The Ambazonians are fighting a just cause. The call have always been for La République du Cameroon to have a comprehensive negotiation about the root causes of Ambazonians' resistance and to stop its abuses against the Ambazonian people. Dr. Cho Ayaba have zero concern with the law. So do all Ambazonian Governing Council and other Ambazonian officials who are residents abroad. The only criminals who are worried about the law is Paul Biya himself, who was kicked out of Switzerland. This propaganda by La République du Cameroon is meant to do something, to stop Dr. Cho Ayaba visits to Belgium, which is very crucial, both to mobilize our people and to raise funds to buy more arms against Cameroon occupation in Ambazonia. The turning towards fake news, lies and manipulation by the state of Cameroon is the greatest display of weakness of a dying horse. The generation of Romos threats will not stop the leader of our war of liberation, the lion's man, the eagle of Ambazonia, Dr. Cho Ayaba, from meeting his constituency in Belgium and from carrying out his mission to liberate Ambazonia. The Ambazonian people should be informed by the constant attack against Dr. Cho Ayaba and his top lieutenants, to be informed about their importance, the role they play in the liberation of our homeland and the freedom of our people who are at home and abroad. A people that rejects their prophet, a people that rejects their anointed one, are bound to wander about in blindness and in foolishness around the desert. Ambazonians must realize who this man is, Dr. Cho Ayaba. The attack against the enemy towards Dr. Cho Ayaba and his forces, the ADF, and the extent to which the Cameroon government have gone to fight them with propaganda. The Ambazonian Defense Forces armory was attacked by the Cameroon military last year. Huge cache of weapons were removed. ADF materials and flag that was hoisted in that vicinity was removed. Those materials, those flags, were never published by La Republique to Cameroon. The Cameroon government is going to every extent to hide the image of the Ambazonian Defense Forces because they know it is crucial for them to deceive Ambazonia about the importance of Dr. Cho Ayaba and the organization he has helped to mold and to shape and to define. Ambazonians should think about it. Without Dr. Cho Ayaba and the organization he is leading, the Ambazonian Liberation War would have been dead. It could have been dead, decapitated long ago. They are playing a very crucial role that we must all accept, recognize, and aid, and avoid helping the enemy. We are our worst enemy. We constantly take material produced to destroy our liberation struggle, talking points developed by the enemy, and publish it, republish it, and reshare it, thinking it will help our internal rivalry. Imagine those who are working tirelessly to buy ADF soldiers, to bribe them, to convince them to abandon the ADF. They are doing so primarily because they want to become relevant. They are political scavengers looking for ways to be the ones to negotiate, fighting over nothing, to be the ones to represent. They should know that if they succeed in their scheme to buy off the ADF soldiers, to take them away from the leadership that is effective and put them under themselves for the sole purpose of becoming relevant, the destruction of the ADF, if they succeed, which they would never, will mean that what has attracted the international community in our liberation struggle, the reputation of the ADF internationally and the Ague of Sea, is what has brought Ambazonia to where it is. Without the Ambazonian Defense Forces being able to project Ambazonian nationalism across state lines, the Ambazonian liberation struggle will never have attracted the current international interest that it does. The level of discipline within the Ambazonian Defense Forces, the projection of power, has been the sole success in Ambazonia that have demonstrated and attracted the international attention and reputation we have. Our ability to fight and combat against kidnapping for ransom, fight against drug, fight against the bad image being painted by La Republique on Ambazonia, fight against the means of La Republique to use our local population to overpower our soldiers. This fight done by the Ambazonian Governing Council, the fight against the images, the cleanup in Manu, the cleanup across Ambazonia, is done by the Ambazonian Governing Council. Take away the Ambazonian Governing Council, you have killed the Ambazonian liberation struggle. Take away Dr. Cho Ayaba, Ambazonian inspiration to resist is dead. Those that fight to replace him, those that fight to take away his power, thinking it will help them, they will know that that will mean the doom of Ambazonia. Because there will be no negotiation or even interest to the Ambazonian cause. That interest itself lies with Dr. Cho Ayaba and the Ambazonian Governing Council and the Defense Forces of Ambazonia. If you succeed in your mission to take away them, you will have no negotiation table to go there in the first place. If you have developed unnecessary hate against Dr. Cho Ayaba and his officials and his defense forces, think about it and question your rationale. Have you been consuming unsubstantiated propaganda from the enemy sharing the enemy, looking at the convenient way to hate somebody simply because you will have La République du Cameroon fake accounts and propagandists that will back you and make it comfortable for you. Think about it and think about the cost to our liberation struggle. If there is one thing Ambazonians agree, is that without the aid of CADF and Dr. Cho Ayaba, the Ambazonian Liberation War would have not even crossed 2 years. Without the work of ADF, General Mba Ivor, to inspire self-defense groups and sustain them with constant weapons supply, the Ambazonian liberation struggle would have never intensified in terms of military resistance, and our popular demand would have been crushed. Our opinion and will for independence or aspiration will mean nothing and will not matter. It is a self-defense and our ability to fight and sustain it, and to be able to inspire and attract the international attention through our reputation, that has put us where we are. Without it, we will not be where we are. With it is the only way we can win. And if we recognize this, we will empower it. We will sustain it. We will take pride in it, because that will be the right thing to do. That will be putting Ambazonian first, putting our flag first. It will mean us taking right decision and putting our national interest and our national aspiration ahead of our egos and our desire to become relevant. For those who continue to fight the losing battle, who continue to aid La République propagandists, Kunyam titles, they should know they are fighting a losing battle. The train have already left the station. The international reputation of the governing council in Ambazonia is already known and accepted as the norm internationally, and there is nothing anybody could do or change it. The Ambazonian Governing Council officials that you batch every day have been recognized by their hard work by the international community. All those activists previously contacted by the international community who did not use those opportunities to push Ambazonia, but use it to blackmail Ambazonian Governing Council members, thinking that by covering their light, they will shine. All those days are gone, and those people have been seen for who they are. They are shawos. All those Ambazonian groups who have, for the sake of trying to bring in the governing council down so that they will shine, they have been seen for who they are by the international communities as shawos. All those who spend their time trying to bribe Ambazonian Defense Forces to abandon their camp, they have been seen by the international communities as their shawos and by their own soldiers. Those who constantly try to deceive soldiers on ground zero in the name of unity, trying to create a uniformity for themselves and not for Ambazonia, thinking somehow they will gain relevance by doing so, they will be seen and have been and will ever be seen as a shawo, because that is who they are. Make no mistake, the days of propaganda is gone. You can spend your time peddling lies, hoping it will stick. It will not stick. The train have left the station, and there is nothing you can do about it. Those who are the lights of Ambazonia are known, and that light will never be quenched. Align yourself with the light, O children of Ambazonia. Quicken and hasten our journey to our promised land, to the freedom of Ambazonia that is democratic, that is respectful of civil liberty. There is only one way to that destination. That is collaborating with the Ambazonian Governing Council. It is the most patriotic and nationalist movement that can guarantee everything we have ever hoped for. There is no number two. There is only number one. We must all abide. We must all align. We must all support the Ambazonian Governing Council for us to be free. We don't have a plan B. We don't have a plan C. Trust me when I say this. Trust me. And to those who are fighting the Governing Council and its official, stop wasting your time. It will not work. It have not worked. It will never ever work. If it would work, that would be the end of Ambazonia. But we know Ambazonia will not end, and we know you will fail. So change your ways and help to collaborate. Stop to fight the light. It will never die. As we look forward to Dr. Cho Ayaba's trip to Belgium, we call on all Ambazonian patriots in Germany, across Europe, to participate massively in this event and make our dream of a free homeland come true. To all our forces in Ground Zero that have built an amount capacity, be ready. We will swarm them. We will kick their butt out of our territory. Cameroon will lose in the battlefield. They will pack their bag and leave our homeland. It will come. Cameroon legitimacy have been reduced to a Tanganjipo being able to celebrate 40th anniversary in Bamenda. That is their level today. Ferrying in people from Yaoundé to come and sing song and ferrying them back out of our territory. A whole state have been brought down to zero. For them, this small show off is their own victory. If La Republique have been reduced to this level, Ambazonians should take pride in themselves. We will not blink. We will choose our battle. We will choose when to attack and when we don't attack based on our own calculation. We have defeated La Republique to Cameroon. We have reduced them into a sham, a state that will feel that loving and being happy in celebrating an anniversary is their only hope for legitimacy and to poke Ambazonia. But be not worried. Sooner or later, such events will receive the blow you have all been thinking of. I know you imagine all sorts of big rubber gun hitting that spot. Don't worry. The Ambazonian Defense Forces will always deliver for you. Subsequently, the Ambazonian War Council and the Governing Council will address the people in the great city of Bamenda about Nokwi, which will be the celebration of the fun, the rising up of the fun of Mankon Palace, a big palace in our state. And we call on our forces there, all the forces in Mankon who have received bribe to facilitate this process should know that that is the wrong way. This is not directed to a particular group of soldiers. They should know that this is the wrong way. The engagement with the palace to make sure that the celebration will go on without being exploited by the enemy will be going on, and we will have made it clear to the palace and everybody there that the Cameroon occupation terrorists will not secure that ground. And we continue to call on all soldiers not to be deceived by those who come using the dialect, those who come using vernacular power. They should not be deceived by tribalistic people who come bearing gifts and money. And surely money they have brought and money they will carry on their head. Be wise, stand your ground, Ambazonia will be free. Capo Daniel, signing off.